let's start the interview. Okay, I'm gonna introduce you
What?
again, and then I'm gonna ask you to introduce yourself. Okay. All
Oh
right.
no.
Let's find out and get to know how a full-time student from Sweden, the place that invented IKEA,
Hell yeah.
taught himself to do professional level 3D art in less than a year.
This sounds like a very clickbaity title.
It's not clickbaity. It actually
It's true.
happened. You actually
It did
did
happen.
teach yourself 3D art.
Yeah,
Professional
I was
level
there.
3D art in less than a year.
Well,
Is this true?
professional grade.
Okay. What makes you think that it's not professional level? Let's take a look at some of your art here and let's discuss whether it is professional level or not.
Well, I mean, I guess it's hard to judge like what's professional or what's not, but
Okay.
I mean, I can do some things that are professional-esque.
All right, take a look at this.
All right. You're
What is
leaking our
this?
DMs.
That
That's
is true. That is true. But okay, fine. If you caught me, these were sent to me in DMs. But look at this. Is this not professional level 3D art? That looks real. That looks like a real photograph of chess pieces.
That's fair. Okay, you know what? I'll give you that one. That one looks pretty good. I was very happy with that one.
Yeah.
With the whole set.
Your art's so sick. That's right.
Thank you.
Narek knows what's up.
Yeah, Nyrek knows.
That's right. Sammy made this, and we are
I
interviewing
did.
him right now.
Yeah, I got more pictures on ArtStation as well.
Yeah, he's got an ArtStation. Your ArtStation is artstation.com/Sammy Samiver, right?
I wouldn't know.
You
I
wouldn't
barely
know? You
use
forgot the name of your ArtStation?
Wait,
What the heck?
let me check.
Hold on.
I rarely
I'm pretty
use
sure
it.
that it actually is.
Oh, I'm not even logged
Yes,
in.
it is
Yeah,
artstation.com/Samiver.
I came prepared.
It's not a photo. It's actually a 3D modeling scene that Sammy made.
Yeah.
To look like
could
a real chess piece set
Yeah.
on a chessboard.
Yeah, you could show the ArtStation if you want to show more photos. It more clearly shows that it's not a photo. It is 3D. But I was going for photorealism, which is like the only time
Yeah.
I've really done that.
This is his photorealism that he can do. It's great.
The one time I streamed this actually when I made the chess pieces.
Here's his ArtStation, and you can see zoom-ins of all the chess pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
How does this show me that this isn't a photograph?
I guess it doesn't.
It doesn't. It just shows it in more detail. See, look,
Do it.
it is actually a 3D model with zero proof. Okay. Wait,
Well-
you made it during a live stream. You made it during a live stream, actually.
Yeah. So the proof is all there. The proof is in the pudding, as Americans would say. I do actually have a video of me. I made it as like a what's it called, a montage.
That's right.
I'll link
you need
it.
to
I'll
prove
link
to
it.
yourself. You need to prove this isn't just a photo. He might actually
Check the chat.
just be a fantastic photographer instead, and we've been duped.
Well, I did in high school. I did study photography, so
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm pretty good at photography as well. I did link in chat the montage for when I'm making this, so you have proof.
Thank
It's a
you so
3D
much
model.
For the tier 2. Wait, thank you so much for the level 2 hype train. Thank you, everyone.
Whoop whoop.
As a chess player, you can confirm those are chess pieces. We have an actual chess player in the chat here. Who
Woo.
has competed in chess tournaments and won.
Wow.
What was it? You won the national chess championship. Yeah, Likes the Party won the national chess championship with a massive trophy and everything. And he says he
Oh.
confirms that these are chess pieces. So
They are.
I think they're real. Yeah.
Wow.
Who is ruining perfectly good pudding by putting proof in it? Hey yo, you went to the same school as him? Wow!
Wait, who?
DJ Ermi? It's either DJ Ermi or D Jeremy. Or
Wait, who's that?
What do you mean,
Wait.
who's that? What do you mean, who's that? This person is saying they went to school with you.
Well, there's a lot of
That's
people
right.
at school.
We need proof that you actually know Sammy.
Yeah. I know a lot of people, hundreds, thousands. Hard to keep track.
How dare
I'm
you?
just so popular.
How dare you
No,
be this talented?
Yeah. I'm popular, I'm sexy, I'm intelligent. It's just
That's
it's
right.
hard being this good.
It's Ermias from Media Gymnasium. Do you?
That is the same school. I'm
Hey,
I'm trying.
I also went to Media Gymnasium.
Wait, who? Oh, I'm trying to remember now.
Sammy. We're popular.
Were we-
Cute, sweet, weird. Come on.
Were we in the same class? I wasn't expecting this during the
Hold
interview,
on.
like a
Stop
former
the
classmate.
interview. We need to confirm this. If this person knows Sam.
Can you send like a picture of your passport and like ID and everything?
And
We need to confirm this.
Social security number, please.
Yeah, and your credit card and the numbers on the back, please.
Wait, how do we confirm if it's the actual person? Do you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, Sammy.
But it is my school though, so it's obviously someone that knows me.
It's someone that knows you, but they found
Same
the stream?
class.
They found the stream. Did you promote?
I did
you?
promote it on my Discord
On your
and a
Discord.
friend Discord and on Instagram.
Maybe they came from the friend Discord.
Yeah. No, there's only Americans in there. That's where Alan came from.
Only Americans. Only Americans allowed in this interview. Okay.
And me. Well, there's
And
someone
Sam.
from the UK as well.
Yeah, and only one person from the UK, please. Any more
Exactly,
than that,
exactly.
We put you back outside. Okay.
Too much. You gotta keep a balance.
Okay. Let's continue with the interview questions here.
All right, no more school. I don't remember. I don't know anything about school.
Remember anyone in the chat? If you have any questions for Sammy, please let us know, and maybe we will get to them. No
Yes.
promises. Okay, first question.
Yeah.
What are your goals as a creative in this moment?
Money. Lots of money.
Money. Okay.
No, but I started 3D. Like I didn't start properly at the time, but like I started experimenting with it like 2 years ago maybe. And the goal was like as many video game players want, they want to create their own video game at some point in the future. So I've always thought that since I was a kid. But then I thought, well, to do that, I need to know how to do like game stuff. So I was like, well, maybe I should start with 3D. So I just kind of like dove into it with the goal of like, maybe one day I'll be good enough to like create models and like areas and everything for a game. So that's kind of where I like started it. And I don't know if it's still my goal, but it's a good way to keep myself motivated. Now I just do it because it's like, if I need 3D for something, like if I'm doing a project and I want to add like
Just
a 3D
whenever
logo or
you
anything.
need it, yeah.
Yeah, it's another tool in the toolbox to be able to do 3D.
Yeah, I can imagine how useful it is.
Mm.
Especially if you are in the area, like if you know a lot of game developers, anyone who's in business, who creates a product or whatever, you could definitely use your skills to help these people. Game developers always need 3D models for their art. As long as the art in that game is 3D. And how business people would need this, like companies and individuals who are small business owners, you could make 3D models that make their products look good, if that makes sense. Like you would 3D model their product and then like put a background and everything, and it would just look like a professional photograph that they didn't have to, they wouldn't have to set up their own photo shoot or anything for media photos or anything. That would be a service you could provide.
you see 3D a lot more than you think about it. Like a lot of commercial nowadays have like 3D logos or like some sort of 3D animation. And one thing I found out pretty recently that blew my mind is that almost all IKEA photos, you know, those set photos where there's like a room with furniture and stuff, almost all of those are done in 3D.
They're not actual
Yeah.
photographs of like an
But they're
actual room or interior.
exactly, because it's just faster to model it than to set up all those shoots. But
It's
it looks
crazy.
so real, and it's so crazy. I've also done. I'll link it in chat. I did a spoof of an iPhone commercial, and it's very like.
Oh my god!
It's very similar to.
That's right. You could do commercials for companies.
Exactly. Like if you watch that, it's just like a phone commercial, but it's like instead of an iPhone, it's an iFish because it's like a spoof of that. And like those commercials are usually in 3D. So I 3D modeled my own phone. It's shaped like a fish, and everything like that. But 3D can be used in so many areas.
Oops, sorry about that. Let's play this video, but without the volume on.
Yeah, you can show it.
Just to see what this looks like. Oh my god, it's the iFish!
Exactly, and that was done in 3D, and it was so much fun.
Actually, I saw this before.
Yeah.
You showed this off, and I saw it. It was great.
I was super happy with this one. I thought it turned out really well, and that's a way to use 3D, like when I'm doing a project, like a video editing project, I like to think like, oh, I want to do this graphic. Maybe I can't do it in video editing, so maybe I'll do it in Photoshop. But maybe Photoshop isn't enough. So then I'll do like maybe a logo in 3D or like some sort of animation that'll go together with the video editing or Photoshop.
Made all of this. Sorry.
Yeah, I made all of this.
I'm just impressed.
But you can combine all these different like productions into one to like great synergy to like really make one great final project. So this is how I used 3D and like lots of video editing. This whole iTunes thing was done in Photoshop, and I combine all of those into like one great project.
That's so amazing. Hold on, I'm just in awe.
Blaze, welcome.
Welcome, Blaze. Do you know Blaze?
Love you, Blaze. Yeah.
Blaze is also a streamer?
Yeah, they're from the Big Dogs. There are a lot of people here from the Big Dogs. It's like a different.
What does turbo mean?
Turbo?
I thought that was an icon that meant streamer, but now I
turbo.
realized that it's just a symbol for turbo, but I don't know what turbo is.
I have no idea, actually.
Yeah,
Blaze is special. They're great.
Look, Couch Ramen! Couch Ramen's a new fan of yours after seeing
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was really happy with that video. I thought it turned out so good. And it took a while to make. It took a few days, but it definitely was worth it. And that's my recreation of Jet Set Radio. I wanted to do the simple, like, I don't know what platform it released on, but like the lower poly graphics and the cell shading. So I recreated the models from the game.
Yeah, this is so cool. It's nice. It's really cool knowing that. I think cool is the wrong word. I think it's a really useful skill that you have here, that you're able to create different. You can create your models in different styles. So like not only do you do the hyperrealism, you also do like low poly. You can imitate other people's styles and such. That's so useful, especially for video games where they would want a particular art style for their game.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a good way to practice, to look at others' work. Obviously, not copy it, like carbon copy it. Although it's harder to carbon copy something in 3D versus drawing, since drawing, you can like trace over it. Yeah. Can't really trace 3D, or not as well at least. But I like looking at multiple works, multiple styles, and then trying to replicate that myself in like pursuit of like finding a style that I would be most comfortable in, like my own style. So it's really fun trying all these like low poly, realistic, or like cartoon shaded and stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like you need to look at a lot of different reference photos to get a real feel for what it would look like from all different angles. Like it's not enough just to have one photo. Like you need to be able to visualize how it would look when you turn it in every direction and such in order to make the 3D model, right?
Yeah. But sometimes you don't have that option. Sometimes all you have is one picture, and you gotta kind of make do. But you make it from the angle that you have, and then the rest can come like logically because you can look around in a 3D space.
Like figure out how it would look in 3D, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. But or sometimes you just have to guess and hope that it's good enough. I mean, if it's something I do for fun, it doesn't matter. But if it's like gotta be professional and stuff, it can be difficult. But it's a lot of fun. That's a furry commission I did.
Yeah. Next question I have for you.
Yeah.
So my next question for you is, let's get into the mentalities that you had getting into 3D art and everything like that. You already told us why you decided you wanted to get into 3D, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
When you actually, like, I feel like a lot of people have wanted to get into 3D, but they always found it too overwhelming or intimidating. What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out and they don't know what to do? So in other words, TLDR, the question is, if someone's just getting started with 3D, what advice would you give them on how to get started, pretty much?
It's funny, actually. Usually when I tell people I do 3D, a lot of people's responses is, oh, I used to try that, or I wanted to try it, but I gave up because it was so hard to start. And I feel like with 3D, the most difficult thing is absolutely starting, getting into it. Because I've thought about this before, but like when you take drawing, for example, anyone could put a pen to a paper. They don't have to draw good, but anyone can put a pen to a paper and draw like a stick figure, a shape, anything like that. Like kids do it all the time. It doesn't have to be good, but you can do it. With 3D, you can't even like do bad 3D at the beginning because you don't even know how it works. Like all the buttons, all the shortcuts, all the tools. It's very overwhelming. It's like before you can even try to draw, you have to learn how to like pick up a pen. Or you have to like make the pen yourself.
Oh gosh, it's like we're back to learning how to stand up again.
Exactly. It's like you gotta run, but you first gotta learn how to walk and stand up. It's a whole process.
And lift my head up off of a pillow.
Exactly, it's a whole thing. You can't just like start, and that was like the biggest thing for me because I was like, oh, I actually have to learn all these tools. And then there's also the question of software. Because with drawing, you could start with traditional, just paper and pen, or you could take any of the many programs that are available. But with 3D, it's a difficult choice. I started with Maya at first, which I ended up hating. I used it for a few months, but everything about it I just hated. It's very not beginner friendly as well. So I moved to Blender, which is a completely free program. It's free for anyone, so I highly recommend it. It's the one that I've done basically all the models I've sent in. And I would say stick through the frustration of not knowing things and watch a lot of tutorials. Because there's so much content out there that really helps you how to do basic things that like whenever I watch a tutorial, even if it's on a basic subject, I probably learn how to use a tool in a new way or a new shortcut that's like really gonna help me in the future. But I'd say focus on navigation. Don't try to like, oh, I'm gonna make the Mona Lisa in 3D like as your first product. Just focus on, I'm gonna make like a cube and like a triangle, and the goal of this is to learn how to navigate and like use the program. Because once you know how to use the program, everything becomes so much easier.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice.
One, learn the program that you're actually using and make a simple shape and just figure out how to use the program in the first place. Got it.
Yeah. That would be my biggest advice. So you can not be super frustrated by the program, because I know that feeling. It's easy to quit when you don't even know how to pan around the camera or anything like that. Yeah, and I've thought a long time because people always ask me to do like a 3D class stream where I like show the very basics of like how to navigate, how to like pan, how to click on things, move things, resize and stuff. So I might do that in the future if people are interested, because it can be difficult. It can be overwhelming for sure.
You're gonna do 3D classes?
Yeah, I think it'll be
That's
fun. I could do it as
awesome!
yeah, and then I can like interact with people and like tell them live if they have any issues, like, oh, this is how you solve that, stuff like that. I think it could be a lot of fun.
I think there's lots of people who want to get into 3D who would love to take that class. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun.
Where should people go if they're interested in something like that from you?
Well, I'd probably stream it on my channel, and then I'll probably upload it to you.
Follow Sam's Twitch.
Samiver. There I am.
Let me shout you out here. Samiver. There we go.
Thank you.
He also streams video games. Amnesia, Dark Descent.
Yeah, I played Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I'm playing horror games throughout October. It's a very scary game. But I do want to do more 3D streams, especially when people are like asking for them so often.
Dude, let me know when you start doing those 3D streams. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be a good learning moment. And I want to publish them on YouTube and like structure them with like chapters and stuff. So it's easy to know like what I'm teaching at what moments and stuff like that. So absolutely, that's something I want to do in the future.
That's gonna be great. And anywhere else other than your Twitch? Are you going to put it on your Twitter, Instagram, Art Station? I don't know why it would be on Art Station. Twitter, or are you gonna announce it on your Twitter or Instagram at all?
No, it's probably gonna be
only on
Twitch.
And your Discord?
No, it's gonna be Twitch, and then I'm gonna put it afterwards on YouTube. I linked the channel.
YouTube. Okay.
But if you want to keep up to date on like what I do and stuff like that, follow me on Instagram. Same username as Twitch. It's Samiver. I post like every stream announcement.
Not radical.
That's my 3D Instagram. Feel free to follow that as well. But I post like usually like 4 or 5 hours before I go live with what I'm going to go live with. And I do have a Discord as well, where I post on like announcements and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna go on your stream and shout out my own Discord. So.
Well, you can shout out your Discord here.
All right. Well, my Discord is the fishing pond. I don't know if you can search it. I guess I have to like. Should I just post an invite to it?
I'm sure there should be a Discord invite on your Twitch panels, right? On your Twitch.
Oh, I don't know if I have that.
Did you not put it there? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Well,
no, you only get to be in his Discord if he personally invites you. Okay, it's an exclusive club.
I think so. How do you even find an invite to your Discord?
Did you see that I have an invite to my Discord on my Twitch panels?
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, how did you make it to my Discord?
No, I had to be from that, I guess. Yeah. I don't even remember, but I think I got the link right here. Here's the link to my Discord.
Kidnap people and force them to be in my Discord.
Well, I would say I'm.
His Discord.
Yeah, so there's the link if you're interested in like 3D and stuff. But I mostly do game streams or like variety streams and stuff like that. But I'll be sure to notify everyone, of course, when I do 3D. So if you're interested in that, you can go there if you want to keep up, for sure.
Yeah, super exciting. You better let me know.
Absolutely, I can DM you if you want.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
And then you can do some cool 3D. And I'm gonna want everyone to send a picture of what they've done at the end of class.
Awesome. Let's say okay, next question. Let's say you get through the hurdle of now you know what to do with your art program and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The 3D art program. You know your way around it and such like that. Now, let's say someone's beyond cubes and cylinders and stuff like that. What if they want to go for more advanced projects, right?
Yeah.
What do you recommend at that point?
I would say look around a lot. That's what I did. I looked at all my favorite games, 3D animated movies, and of course you're not going to be making like Pixar models immediately, but you look around and you see what's simple. It doesn't have to be a character. It can be, I don't know, a character's phone, the character's gun, this lamp in the background of this one scene, and like Finding Nemo that you only see once. Like, it can be literally anything that you see and you think, I want to create that, and it's simple. And it can absolutely be easy to start with taking things from games that are like PS1, PS2. You know, it's lower poly, it's much simpler.
But project that's outside of. Oh, sorry, I have another question. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. What if someone accidentally chooses a project that's like way outside of their skill level, though?
Well, what's important is you gotta throw yourself into it. You gotta do it. I mean, you gotta try, at least. I mean, if you fail, you fail. It's not like you're gonna get shot for failing. I mean,
Remember, if you ever feel like you failed, always remind yourself that you could have gotten shot, but you didn't.
Yeah.
So
you didn't, exactly.
Be grateful you're still alive.
I mean, I have a bunch of projects, like, even now, that are like, I've just given up on them and just left them to, like, maybe I'll come back to them at some point, but I mean, I think what's important with 3D is that basically every model I've made, like, ever, even the ones that I've given up on or not finished, I've taken something away from it. Like, every model is a learning opportunity where I've learned a new technique or a new way to use a tool. And I think that's much more important for me than the finished model, because it's like, oh, I made a slime model. Oh, I'll now know how to make like a transparent slime texture. I'll keep that in mind for the future. Or like the glowing eyes.
By the way, when did you learn to do slime? To make
right now, today.
Just today. You taught yourself slime and made this 3D
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I got the idea for a slime cat. So I was like, well, how do I do a slime? So I just experimented. And I was like, well, the eyes aren't popping that well. If I add lights and I make it transparent, would the light come through? And it does. So now I know that. Now I can keep that in mind for the future. Like, oh, I can like dissipate light through an object if it's like semi-transparent and make it like cool glowing eyes. So it's something I can always like take away from a project and keep for the future. And when, you know, you've made like 50 models, that's a lot of information to take with you to the next model. And it's like, well, now I know all these techniques, and you can really step up your game.
You whipped up your model in less than a day?
Yeah, I made this in like 2 hours. It's not that hard to make this one, I think.
That's easy to say after, you know, you've been teaching yourself 3D for the last 2 years.
That's true. But one important thing to think about too is that you could divide 3D, I would say, into two categories. There's 3D modeling, which is like the squares and like you edit points and faces and lines. But then there's also sculpting, which is much more like playing with clay. It's like you mold it, you transform it. It's a lot more organic, and it's usually used for making characters and stuff like that. And if I had made this one in modeling, it would have been a lot harder. But I did it in sculpting, which is, yeah, it's just basically carving out the eye sockets. It's pulling out the ears and then like carving out the mouth, which speeds up the process by a lot, basically.
Holy guacamole. Your 3D model scares me.
Yeah, you said it was scary at the start.
Can we all take a moment to appreciate how spooky his 3D model is? I didn't even know it was a cat. Until
it is.
Sammy said it was a cat slime. I was like, wait, what?
It is. It's a cat slime.
And now I see the ears and the whiskers. But before, I did not notice those whiskers.
Well, it's Halloween soon, so I wanted to be a little creepy. I do like how it's transparent on your stream as well. You can see through it, which is cool.
You can see the ice cream behind you.
Yeah, I wanted it to be transparent, so that's perfect. But yeah, I made this in about 2 hours, and that just shows that like you pick up experience from past projects and you carry it with you, and you'll become faster and faster with every model. Like a year ago, I probably would have made this cat over the process of like 10 hours. Not because I would have been slow modeling, but because I wouldn't know how to do it, and I had to look up or experiment with every technique. But now I know a lot, so it's much faster to do this kind of stuff.
Ooh. So would you say that a really good strategy to improve is to, with each project that you take on in 3D, only focusing on one thing to improve for that project? What do you think of that?
Could you repeat that again?
Oh, sorry. Each project, you focus on only one thing to improve on.
I wouldn't necessarily say that the goal would be to find something to improve on, but rather than just like when I make a model, my goal is to make the model. But along the way, I usually come into a problem of like, well, I'm not too sure how to do this. Like, for example, if I'm making a house and I'm like, windows, how do I make windows? So then I look that up because it's part of the model. And then I figured out how to make windows, like something that's transparent, that's glossy. And then I take that away. So I would say you don't necessarily have to chase something that's, you don't have to chase the knowledge, but rather the knowledge comes to you with the models that you choose to make. Because there's so many techniques that goes into every type of different model.
Okay. So basically, whenever you run into something you don't know how to do, you just look up how to do it?
Yes. If you run into something you don't know how to do, the worst thing you could do, I think, is to run away from it and stop. I think that's a great opportunity to learn. So if you find something you don't know how to do, I'd say that's a really good thing. So then you look it up, watch as many tutorials as you want, you take all your time, you can be bad at it, but just keep doing it and you'll pick up new techniques. And I think that's super, super important.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's really great. That's... So whenever you come across a problem, just see it as something that you can solve by looking it up.
Exactly. And that's a learning opportunity. And I just remembered, I actually have a 3D playlist I've put together on YouTube. I could link it, of like other people's tutorials.
Are these
and
all
I've watched
tutorials that you've used personally?
Yes, these are all hand-picked tutorials, because finding tutorials can be hard. So these are all hand-picked tutorials that I've found. These were the biggest help to me and actually taught me something. It is a very big playlist of 277 videos.
Holy, come on. Check it
but
out,
the point,
you guys. You just
but the point,
sorry.
here, I'm linking it, but the point is, you're not supposed to watch every single video.
Yeah,
I mean, if you
don't
do,
watch it all in a day.
I mean, you could.
Just watch one and learn from that before you
I
move
mean,
on to the next one, right?
Or watch all of them and skip 2 years of progress and become instantly good. But
no, no.
I would say they're not all tutorials either. A lot of them are speed modeling. They're like montages, because watching a master at work can really help as well, because it's a great way to see, like, when you observe someone doing something that they're really good at, it's a really great way to learn how to do something really efficiently. So I watch a lot of like montages as well, like sped up montages, because like, oh, interesting, they did it in that way. That's so much faster than what I would have done. Yeah. And you could go into that playlist, save it. You don't have to look at anything right now, and then you can just scroll through and click on anything that picks up your interest. Or once you start 3D modeling, you're like, oh, I run into this issue. I would say check out that playlist, because it has a solution to many, many, many common problems. And it's not properly organized yet. It's a little bit, but it starts off with a beginner tutorial series of like 20 videos, and you can watch any of those. It's by Blender Guru, the donut tutorial. It is probably the most famous, or infamous almost, 3D beginner tutorial, because everyone tries it at the start. Some people give up in the middle of it. Some people continue with it, but I'd say if you're not liking it, you can try something else as well.
That's really helpful. Thank you so much for sharing that with everyone. And that's
yeah, no problem.
that's super
yeah, I have
helpful.
it's a big collection. that's been worked on for a while.
It's bigger than Pat's liked playlist apparently on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's a big one, but don't be overwhelmed. Just check out any part of
Don't
it,
be
and you'll probably
overwhelmed.
you can learn something from
How
it.
to not be overwhelmed? Question mark.
Well, take everything one step at a time. That's
One
how you
step at a
don't be
time.
overwhelmed.
Okay.
Because you cannot one part at a time if you're 3D modeling. Like the thing you're looking at right now, the big bass guitar thing. It's like it's a lot of parts, but you know you're modeling each part at one time, and then it all comes together into one big model. So you're not gonna overwhelm yourself by like looking at this complex model of all the parts and stuff. You look at each part individually, and then you do that, and then you move on to the next part, etc., until it all comes together into this big, like, cool model, basically.
That's how you made these guitars too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
Thank you. And that's also a big part of 3D that I thought was pretty difficult, and that's learning how to texture. Because texturing is like a whole nother beast, and then you first got to learn how to UV unwrap, which is a whole thing as well. I actually took a picture. I don't think I sent it to you. Let me pull it up. I took a picture of like behind the scenes of how it looks like.
Gosh.
Wait, it's not a crazy photo. I sent it to you on Discord now. It's like how it looks when you like texture something. If you go to the bottom.
Okay. One moment. Thank you for following Gin Tonic. Holy moly! This is when you were making the little bakery piece. That's right.
Exactly.
I held an art. What was it? A draw this in your style challenge. Sam here entered and redid my artwork as a 3D model.
I was very happy with that.
So beautiful.
Thank you. I worked pretty hard on it, and the results were great.
Let me pull up the original artwork here so y'all can see it. Oh gosh, do I even have it? Where would it be?
Time for some 2D art.
Oh yeah, here it is.
And Nyrek got a question. So do you feel it's better to like reverse engineer an item to break down every individual part to get an understanding of what goes where and how it should work, look, etc.? I would say if there's a whole machine and you only model one tiny part of it, you've at least modeled something. So yeah, I mean, I usually break down a model into like parts because it can be easier to like manage it that way, because like it can look like a lot to do. So it's almost like a checklist of like, oh, now I'm doing this part, now I'm doing this part and stuff. So that's definitely one way to look at it. Yeah.
Is it better to reverse engineer an item as opposed to what? What's another way you can do it?
I mean, if you reverse engineer, I guess you're looking at each part as like its own part. So you're focusing on each part that then ends up making the bigger picture instead of just like trying to make everything at once, I guess, which is like can be very overwhelming, I'd say.
Oh yeah, gosh.
Thank you, Couch Ramen. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like drawing as well. I mean, you don't draw everything. You draw like each piece, and then it comes together into this big work, basically.
Oh wait, no, it's the other way around for me.
You just draw everything at once.
Well, you map out everything. Like plan out what your idea is in the first place.
Yeah.
And then you line everything.
And
then you color everything. And then at the very end, you break it down to be like, okay, we're gonna focus on these parts.
Oh, interesting.
Because if you do one piece at a time for your art, then the different parts of your art become disproportionate, and maybe at the end you'll realize this composition doesn't work out, the color scheme's all wrong. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's the other way around for illustration.
You don't have that problem as much in 3D because you can always resize everything very easily. Like with drawing, if you resize it, it could lose quality, or like the lines could become thicker and thinner. It can be more awkward if you don't have layers and stuff. But luckily with 3D, you can resize anything as much or as little as you want
good.
to no loss of quality, which is really nice. And a tip I have for those starting out with 3D is that a 3D model usually, not always, but usually for me at least, looks really bad for like the first 80%. Like when I make a model, I always think, man, this looks bad. I want to stop. But it's because I haven't added the nice lighting. I haven't added the textures and everything. It doesn't look finished basically, but that's because it isn't finished. And it usually only looks good once it's done. Yeah. So it's important not to quit when something looks bad. But with this model here, the Kim model, you know, I focused on each part. So I was like, okay, now I'm gonna make the chairs. So I didn't look at anything else. I didn't want to be like overwhelmed. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make the chairs now, and then I'm gonna make the plants and stuff, and then it all comes together into this final product, which like finally looks great, you know.
Yeah, I loved how the chairs came out.
Thank you.
How you added the what is it? The terracotta flooring there. That's really
Yeah. I had this idea of like, oh, what if this was like in like a market, something like almost like Animal Crossing, like.
Yeah,
So,
I had no idea what I was going for in this, and you just pulled it together. Thank you.
no, thank you. Yeah, and for the chairs, I actually used cloth simulation for the little like white cloths.
Ooh.
Cloth simulation and stuff like that is something I recommend trying out and experimenting with as well, because it's fun to like make things drop in like realistic ways and smash into other things. And it's really good for cloth to get the like natural look, so you don't have to like make every wrinkle yourself.
You come across as this very experimental, curious learner, where you're just ready to dive in and then just learn anything that gets in learn anything that you realize that you don't know. Anything that gets in your way, you just figure out how to do it until it's done. Are there
That's what I do basically. Yeah, it's the only time I consider myself like failing is when I don't learn anything.
how do you deal with moments when you like you've tried really hard and then you failed at something? How do you deal with that?
Well, if I'm stuck on a model, like really stuck, I usually just move on to a different part of it, because then it can help make that bad part look better in the context of the other parts. Like the chairs, I was struggling with a lot, so I started working on the house, the little shop for this one, for example. And it looked better once the shop was there, because I was like, oh, the chairs are in front of the shop. It looks better. But if I'm stuck on something, I might like even redo the whole thing, or I might just take some time off from it, or like a day or two, and then you come back, because that's usually when you see it for the first time, basically, with like clear eyes, and then it's like, well, obviously that's the part that's wrong. And sometimes I just accept that maybe it doesn't look exactly how I imagined, because I am not 100% an expert, so I can't take everything from my mind perfectly to 3D yet.
So not quitting forever. That's not a good strategy
don't
to cope with failure.
don't quit is my advice, because
You
if
sorry. Go on.
that's the behind the scenes, because I wanted to show how it looks like texturing. So you see, it's like a flat image of like the face and the colors and stuff, and it's projected.
That flat face. Did you draw that?
I drew that actually. Yeah, I basically. I'm not an artist. I don't draw, but I had to do my best of basically replicating your art the best I could to then project. I can send you. I'm sending you another image. The face for your character. I sent it on Discord.
Oh gosh, like you've made a mask, a face mask to put on.
Yeah, basically I.
Oh my god! It's so cute.
For that, you sent like a full body reference of your character. So I basically looked at that and tried to replicate it the best I could.
And then you tried to draw it from the front. I see.
Exactly. And I had a front picture of yours as well. So I changed the... Because the other one that had the front didn't have the heart.
Other pieces of art that I did to do this?
Yeah. There's like a full body reference of your character, like she's sitting.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I took that one and like tried to think of it like that with the proportions, but I changed the colors of the eyes and the hearts and stuff to look more like the shop one. And then it's basically when you take a texture onto something, it basically just wraps it around. So if you look like at the face, it's pretty flat at the front. So it's basically just slapped on, more or less. Mm-hmm. And that's how I did it. The eyebrows are separate pieces of a flat image though, so they stick out a little bit, which is a good way to make simple 3D. It's just take an image and just like make it stick out a little bit.
Wait a minute. So you wrap this onto the face, and then like, how did you get it above the hair?
That's a separate image. So I basically have a transparent background image as its own layer, as its own just like model. And it's basically just a flat image. So if you were to look at that from the side, it would be completely flat. But from the front angle, it looks completely fine, basically. It's almost like a cheat.
It's an illusion! No? Okay. So this isn't actually like a complete, like... This isn't actually like... This is meant for it looks good from the front, basically.
It looks good from the side, too. I mean, if it's completely, like, profile, then it would look very flat. Because, like, the face is basically all just drawn on. But it looks good for most purposes, basically. Okay. And it's part of the texturing process, because like you gotta combine 3D with the 2D to make like a complete picture.
Wow. So I'm just letting that sink in.
It's a lot.
A lot. Yeah, 30 yards a lot. So yeah, your advice to people is start small, take it one step at a time.
Yes, and be sure to pick something up from the models you make. Even if you don't finish the model, even if you're not happy with the result, if you've learned something, a new technique, or like how to navigate the tools you have easier, then you have succeeded in what you've done.
Mm-hmm. And if you get stuck, look up how to do it. And if you're still stuck, focus on something else. Maybe come back to it in, 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, basically just take a short break or do something else, and you can come back to it stronger and with a new eye, so it's easier to see what's wrong with it and fix it or whatever. Another advice I also have is to keep an eye out for inspiration, so you always know what you can model. I did mention some 3D examples like movies and games, but real life is also a great example because so much in real life is very simply shaped. Like if you look at a table in real life, it's very simple in its shape. It's basically a square. So I've like made so many items from like my room or something I've seen on the train or something I've seen like at school. And I'm just like, oh, that's basically a cylinder. I could just take that cup and just make it in 3D. So I take a lot of inspiration from real life as well.
So we have a few questions from the chat. Let's start with Couch Ramens. Sammy, as a 3D artist, what are your favorite things to make?
The easy things, I would say.
Like the slime cat?
Yeah, well, it's a hard question. I mean, I enjoy everything. I mean, especially when I'm learning and the final result is like really coming together. I like something with a pretty complex texture or something that like really only really comes together at the end. Like the slime is just like when I was working on it, it was just a gray like block basically because it didn't have the slime texture. But once I added the slime to it, it like really came to life. It's like you snap your fingers and all of a sudden the model goes from like something really boring and bad to like something great. Like, and I really enjoy that. Texturing is basically it's very rewarding once you get that done. But so is modeling, of course.
I just want to say that before this interview, I thought that you were awesome. But now, after talking to you during this interview and learning so much more about like your thought process and ideologies, I think you're somehow even awesomer than I thought you were before because you're just so curious and hungry for knowledge, and you just have this amazing growth mentality in terms of like you just like experimenting and doing everything, and if you learn something, then that's satisfying to you. I really admire that about you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very important to be curious and to be experimental because you can't lose anything. You can't lose anything by making a bad model. You can only learn from your mistakes and learn to pick up new things. So I'd say just go at it. Like I've spent sometimes even entire days on a model that I'm like, well, this isn't good. I'm not gonna post this. But I am fine with the project anyways because I've picked up so many things. Like, oh, I made this. It didn't turn out good. But well, now I know how to make like fog, atmospheric lighting and stuff like that.
And that's all
yeah,
that
and
matters.
also,
Sorry, go on.
I also want to say that lighting is a pain in the ass. And if you want to start with...
Sorry,
if you want to start... It's like photography. If you know photography, it can absolutely help because, you know, you got to have like the strong light and then like a weaker light, the backlight and stuff like that. If you want a cheat for lighting, be sure to use HDRIs. I'll write it in chat.
Yeah.
HDRI. It's
HDRI. What's that?
It's basically a 360-degree light. It basically, if you look at the pip picture right in front of you, what's behind is a HDRI, which is basically a picture that wraps around the entire background of the project, and it emits realistic lighting that would have been in that picture.
Did you take this photograph?
No, it's just an HDRI I found. So basically, the way it works is that it takes that photo and it basically emits realistic lighting from all angles, like that photo would have had. So if you take an HDRI that's outside, you'll get very natural, very realistic outside lighting. It's all done by people. You can't just insert a normal image.
So TDRL, wait, TLDR, you like everything. You like making everything as long as you've improved. Got it.
Yes.
Let's move on to Eric's question here. Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't mean to cut this short.
No problem.
I just got a little worried for Eric. Have you ever experienced something like artist's block, or a day where you felt like for some reason you got worse?
Yes, artist block. Yeah, this year I probably didn't model like anything between January and May, which is a really long time.
Yeah.
So I was thinking
months.
wow, I've basically quit 3D. And I've only really gotten back into it like the last few months, like over summer and stuff. I also did stop streaming for a while, so that's probably part of it, like all like creative flow stopped. But artist block is something I definitely suffer from a lot. I mean, I think all artists can relate to that. And I mean, the only way you can really get out of it is to like work and hope that the spark comes back. Because sometimes I work on something and 10 hours will go by, no problem. And I'm just sitting there passionately working. I'm not feeling stressed. I'm not feeling like I have to work. I just do it naturally because I want to. And some days I open a project and I look at it and then I just close it again because it's like, no, I don't want to do that because maybe I've stopped on a difficult part or something like that. But artist block is definitely a hassle that I don't think anyone really has the one answer to. And it's something that, you know, it happens to 2D artists, 3D artists, and everyone like that. But there have been days where I definitely feel worse. Like I'll look back on a project that I did early on that looks really good. For example, of the pictures I sent you, the one where a girl is sitting by the window, it's the last one of the big batch. It's like in space, that one.
Aww.
That was my first completed project. First one. And it's fan art of an artist called Space Day. She makes great art, and I wanted to make a 3D model of her OC character, and I think this looks really good. I think it's one of the best things I've done. Maybe not visually and stuff, but like the path I took to get there and like everything I put into it, all the love. So sometimes I might make a model now and it doesn't look good, but then I look back on like my first model and it's like, how can I not make something better than my first model?
Wait a minute.
See,
Hold on that. I just want to comment on something that you just said. It was
yeah.
that you said that this is the best thing you've ever made. For most people, I think the criteria of what the best thing you've ever made is like the final result. But what I find really interesting and awesome, that your criteria is not the end result, but the journey that you went on along the way to create it and everything that you've learned in the process of getting to the final result. I find that that's an outstanding way to think about it. And I definitely want to take that into my own work too. Like, I love this one, not because of the final result, but because of what I learned while making it. That's a great growth mentality there.
Yeah, exactly. When I was making this, like, it was because I'd been using Maya and making super simple models. But during this model was when I first started using Blender. So when I was making this model, I had to learn how to navigate Blender, how to make shapes in Blender, how to finally learn lighting and texturing. So basically all major pillars of 3D I learned properly when making this one model. So much love went into it because it's like, it's fan art of a streamer I really like, really nice person. So I was like, I put so much love into it and I learned so much that I feel like it's like the most productive learning experience I've done as a 3D artist. And it was so much fun to make this. So that's kind of why it's like, it's super close to my heart and it's something I really like. And she's also featured in the Animal Crossing model, or the render I sent, which was also a great experience. And I'm really happy with that one.
Scroll to that one. This one,
It's the one with the sakura trees. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's the same model, but as an Animal Crossing character, and that's her boyfriend, Frank, who also streams a lot.
He's an Xbox boy.
Yeah. So I made that one, and I was like super happy with how that turned out, and that was also such a learning experience because that was also super early on. That was when Animal Crossing New Horizons was gonna come out. This was like maybe a week before the game came out. So I looked at like screenshots and stuff and how to like make like the Animal Crossing style and stuff, and it was super fun to make this. And I don't know if I sent it, the one before the Pip picture, if you can scroll to that one.
Okay.
It's like a long picture.
A long one. Let me see if I can zoom in here.
Yeah. This is a compilation photo of everything I did within my first year as a 3D artist.
Oh wow! Really?
So I took all my models and I got the idea of like, what if I made like a party where all my models were having a party and like all the furniture was there, all the items. So, you know, there's like pictures in the back of like smaller models, and then I have like Isabel with the Master Sword. It's like one of my first thing I did. And then, you know, everyone's chilling in the sofa, you know, there's the TV and like all the furniture. And you can really zoom in and like look at everything in detail. And like this was such a fun thing to do. And like work on. There's the living room, and then there's the kitchen next to it with even more stuff. And this was such a fun project to work on, and it was really like when I showed this to people, like people were like,
a bottle from a video game like Red Dead Redemption or something?
No, it's a Jack Daniels whiskey. I think it's whiskey.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I just tried to. If you go to the kitchen, you'll see a lot of like food. That's a super derpy dog I made.
What's the dog for?
It's the guy above it and the dog. It's a friend from the American chat, and I wanted to make art of him.
Oh, I thought this was you. Okay.
No.
Okay.
He looks like an older version of me. So that turned out pretty good. And then I was like, how the fuck do you make a dog? That's a cursed Sonic from my first 3D stream. Someone sent a drawing of like a cursed Sonic, so I was like, I'm gonna make a 3D model of mine.
Put every single one of your models into this.
Yes, proud of them or not, I put them in.
As well.
Yeah, look, she's holding the iFish as well, the iFish phone.
Oh, the
in the
iFish
kitchen.
is in here too.
Yeah,
This is an
she's holding
awesome
it.
project. You put every single thing you've ever made in this. And then,
Yeah.
not only that, like you didn't just dump them in, like you changed the textures. Because like
Exactly, exactly.
The Five Guys at Fridays one, the texture
Yeah.
is completely different here.
Yeah.
To make sure he would fit in with everything else.
Yeah, no, that was actually because that's how it looked at first, but I actually revisited it to retexture it to what it looks like now because I wanted, yeah, I wanted to give it a more realistic approach, give it an attempt. But also the house is modeled after my own house, like that's my kitchen and my living room.
We can spy on Sam's house.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like.
Feel free. This is what it looks like.
What the heck
except
is this? Hold on, let me scroll to it here.
You can use control, I think, to drag across an image.
Control?
Control,
No,
I think you can like...
That's not working for me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I don't actually know.
Oh, I wish I had that. What is this? This Mario here?
Is
that a sensor bar? What is going on?
Wait. I can send the... It's...
Wait, you can explain?
It's a video. I'll send the link to it. It's Mario taking a piss video.
So you come across as this person that makes only like awesome projects every single time, but this is what happens behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, you're actually making these.
It's Mario taking a piss.
If you ever end up
to
making
take a
like
piss.
a scuffed like Goomba or a scuffed looking Mario, like you just keep that in the background. Don't show it to anyone.
Yeah. I'm proud of it. If you click on the original video, you'll see what it's based on. It's based on a 2D drawing that I then tried to make 3D basically.
Oh really?
Yeah, if you click on the video, you'll see it immediately. It's
a PG stream.
Like it's you can show it on screen.
Characters.
Yeah.
It's a bowl of strawberries. Did you make a bowl of strawberries at some point?
I did. Wait, I can send you the render for this. I was really happy with that. That was the first time I was trying to do like food, which is very. I think food can be difficult because you want to make it look.
The texture really is important, right?
Yeah, you want to make it look desirable because you look at real food and you're like, ooh, that's pretty good. But if it's like bad,
easy to mess up food actually.
Yeah, but I sent the render for the strawberries if you want to look at those. But I was very happy with that as well.
On Discord?
Yeah, on Discord.
Oh, look at the strawberries. That's so
strawberries.
cute.
I was very happy with that because I felt like, wow, I want to eat those strawberries. So I felt like I succeeded.
It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I'm marveling at I have a newfound appreciation for this one because this one I didn't really understand until like after you explained like these are all the 3D models you've ever made in one image.
Yeah, I'm
really
super happy
with your journey as a 3D modeler.
Yeah, it really does. It's it really shows that like when you put your mind to it, you can really make a lot, like in a year. Like you can make goofy stuff, you can make like serious stuff, but when it's all put together like this, it's very like, wow, I've done all of this. That's a lot.
Yeah, you made Fago?
I did make Fago.
Fago, like it's just super nice looking.
Thank you. I'm really happy with the Red Bull.
These 3D models that are all like cartoony and stuff next to the super hyper realistic Fago and Red Bull.
Yeah. I like the style clash. It's very funny.
And the carpet?
Or like the low quality models on the couch and stuff.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this one. It's it was very fun posting it on Instagram as well. You gotta like scroll through all the pictures to see the whole thing because it's so big.
That's a very creative way to put all the drinks together. Like just a Jack Daniels in there too.
Yeah, Jack Daniels, Monster, and Red Bull. That was a lot of fun to work on that.
Oh my god, I just noticed this part. The sorry, I keep zooming in and out. But I just noticed this.
Yeah, that was for a it was like an art challenge. It wasn't really a challenge in the Big Dog server. I mentioned it before, like where Nyrek is from. They hold this like draw together thing where they like over the course of like an hour, you draw a prompt, and the prompt was like what you'd bring with you on the travels. So I thought, oh, my Switch and a phone. So I made like a little suitcase
That's all that
with
you
like
carry with you everywhere.
yeah. Well, 3D modeling takes some time, so I thought let's make it simple. So I made a little phone and a Switch, like popping out of the suitcase, in a nice little image. In a more cartoony style as well, because there's no shading on it. It's all flat shading, which is also a very fun technique to work on.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much for sharing so much of your experience and how you think about art and all your advice on anyone who wants to learn 3D modeling. Before we end the interview, are there any well, actually, I have 2 questions for the end of it.
All right, yeah.
Well,
as many as you want.
First things first. If you could give anyone advice, like a 3D artist that wants to improve their art or start learning art, could you put your advice to anyone who wants to learn 3D in a nutshell? Any advice in a nutshell, pretty much. TLDR.
Take my 3D class.
Take your 3D class?
No, but I mean, it's a lot to learn it. But yeah, I'd say the biggest hurdle, like if you're just starting out, is to just go for it. Because it's super easy to quit, but know that you are not alone. You are not like bad, because it's easy to think, oh, everyone's doing this, but I can't because I can't even navigate the program. Like we've all been there. I was there, and look at all I did in 1 year.
The
like just
is
throw yourself into it.
Hold on. The proof are these scuffed models
exactly
that he's hiding underneath this table.
yeah, there they are. That's the proof. In a year, you can do that. You can make Mario pissing.
And this goofy looking this Sonic, this cursed Sonic.
yeah, you can do that. That wasn't even like that was like the first month or 2. You can make a scuffed Sonic.
He doesn't even have like his spikes.
they are in the back.
Oh, okay.
You can't see them. You can't see them from the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you can go from a scuffed Sonic to a cool cat slime that you might think is frightening or cute, depending on who you are. But what's important is starting out, learn your tools, learn how to navigate and everything like that. Because once you know how to navigate, you can very quickly put your ideas to paper, essentially. You can, oh, I want to make this thing. But if you don't know how to use your 3D program, you're gonna struggle with that. But if you know how to navigate, you're gonna be able to super quickly put your ideas onto screen, basically.
Okay. Let's say if you want people to walk away from this interview having learned only one lesson, like they can only remember one sentence from this entire interview.
Yeah.
What would it be? One sentence takeaway.
You wouldn't be alone in hating UV unwrapping, is what I would say.
What? You wouldn't be alone in hating UV wrapping, is what he said.
Yeah, unwrapping.
That's
yeah.
the most important bit to take away. None of all the rest matters.
Nothing else matters. But UV unwrapping, for those that don't know,
if you hate it, you're with the rest of us here. We all hate UV wrapping.
It's like doing the dishes or cleaning your room. It sucks, but it's got to be done. But for those that don't know, UV unwrapping is when you make seams on a model, like essentially like the seams on your clothes, so that the texture can correctly wrap around it. But if you look at the model, like the legs you're zoomed in on, you'd think, where do you put your seams on that? Or like, because you got to hide the seams and like stuff like that. That's a whole thing. And it sucks, and everyone hates it. And you gotta make it fit correctly, and it's gonna be the correct aspect ratio and stuff like that.
The thing to take away is this part of 3D modeling sucks.
And you just gotta accept that that's part of life.
Join the UV hate club.
But maybe more proper advice is,
in a nutshell,
if you're one of those people that say, I want to do 3D modeling, then my advice is do it, because it's not gonna model itself. And
it's because it's not. People.
No, but
it's not gonna do itself. Basically.
It's not gonna do itself, and failure is part of the learning, and if you take something away from a model, okay, but that's the more important thing. Failing, or aka like failing as in like your model doesn't look good, is fine if you're taking something away from it. If you're learning a new technique or like how something works better, then you've succeeded. You've not failed, so don't give up. Don't you think you're worthless or anything like that. You've succeeded, and now you have a new tool, new knowledge for the next model. And you keep doing that, and eventually like you'll have so much to put into your models. That's my advice.
In a nutshell, failing is not failing.
Exactly.
As long as you learn something from it.
Yeah. If you learn something, you have not failed. Even if you think you have, you definitely have not. You've learned something, and that means you've succeeded. That's what I would say.
All right.
If that makes any sense, I hope.
That you would like to... That makes perfect sense. I thought that was implied. But yeah, that makes total sense. I get it now. Failing is not failing as long as you've learned something from it. And I think that's evident in all this work that you've done and how you talk about your process behind everything. Like, ooh, I learned this, and ooh, I learned that. Or I looked up how to do this. You know? Yeah,
it was through failing. Failing and learning. So failing is a natural part of learning, and you should embrace it because you're probably still learning even if you think you're failing. So that's my probably biggest advice, because it's easy to want to quit when you feel like you failed.
Yeah, and it's so evident in all the work that you've done.
Yeah,
it's
and
awesome.
Also
and all the cursed stuff under the table.
Yeah, and maybe also bonus advice is if you're gonna be interviewed on a cute stream, don't make like a creepy monster.
Wait, do you regret your model?
No. I love it, but you're scared of it.
Yeah, I am. It's really scary, actually.
I'm really happy with it though. I think it's super cute, but opinions differ. So that's what I would say.
3D version of shoelaces in 2D art.
I would say seams are more like seams in clothing. I mean, there are actual, like if you look at a t-shirt, you can see that, like, you know, where the arms start, there's like a little line, or like at the side of a shirt, there's also a line that goes through the like down the whole thing, because that's where they've connected they've sewn together the pieces of cloth. And that's basically what seams are in 3D, I would say.
I think what they mean is, like, I think what they're referring to is how you mentioned that seams are like, you know, UV wrapping. It's like everyone hates it. I think what they're referring to is, drawing shoelaces as an artist is really awful and painful as a 2D artist, if that makes sense.
Well, I don't draw, so, but I do when I do texture, but
pain, actually. So go on.
Okay, well, if shoelaces are a pain in 2D art, then they very much are like UV wrapping and seams in 3D art, because that is a pain in the ass. And if you do 3D, you're probably gonna hate it, but you gotta accept it because the final result is gonna be pretty good.
The harsh reality of 3D art.
Yeah, it's it can't all be glamorous, all be fun. Something's gotta be like a chore. That's how it is.
Any last words before?
That sounded very threatening.
Before we beat you up.
Well, please don't go for the face.
You're only a face.
The what face?
You're only a face. I mean, your cat.
That's true.
It's just a jazz.
Well, it's that's true. Well,
don't
go for it. Don't go for anything then. Don't beat me up. I'm a slime. If you punch me, I'll just break into a bunch of blobs.
Alright, and anything else you want to say to everyone in the chat?
Well, if you're interested in learning, check out the playlist that I linked a bit earlier. And if you want to learn even more and you have direct questions, I did link the Discord before for if you want to ask me questions directly. I am very involved there. And as I said, I would love to do a 3D class stream or like multiple where I teach people and then you can follow along and you can send a screenshot of what you've done and I can directly give you feedback or like, oh, this is how you do it. Or and I can have people on call and stuff like that. So if you want almost like a teacher in 3D, I'd be more than happy to help anyone. I love helping people discover something that they love in art and anything like that. So I'd say that's what I'd want to say. Yeah. I'm
so awesome
more than willing to help. Thank you. It's so much fun when people discover 3D and start doing it. It makes me so happy.
Oh, that's so sweet and wholesome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that I got to interview you, and I'm
happy that you interviewed me too. Thank you for having me. It's been great here. I was starting to get worried like before we started. Like, am I gonna be able to give any advice? I haven't really pre-planned this at all, but I've probably sounded wise during this. I hope.
Smart.
Oh well, there you go. Yeah, take that away from this. That I'm very smart and handsome, and if you want to give me money, just send it away.
And he hails from Sweden, the
yeah.
origin of IKEA.
Exactly, and I'm smart. I attend university. That means I'm smart. So take that away from this.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sam.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been great. And I'll probably relax a little bit. It is almost 4 a.m. But I'd love to watch a little bit of the stream before I fall asleep.
So
you'll probably see me stop. When I stop chatting, it's probably because I've fallen asleep. But thank you. And if you want to kick me out, you're going to have to do it because I don't know how to leave a call. So.
He doesn't know how to leave. He's trapped here. I've kidnapped him.
Yeah, I'm going back into the basement. I'm trapped in this basement. I can't leave on my own. You gotta unlock the door. Let me out. Don't trust Kim.
I just sent him a link. He clicked on it and now he's stuck here.
Yeah, that was pretty magical. You sent a link to a voice channel. I didn't even do that.
I mean, that is a feature in Discord, so...
Yeah, pretty amazing. I'm learning things this stream. It's amazing.
Even you learn something new.
Yeah, exactly. But thank you so much for having me. You're now free to kick me out, ban me from stream.
To release you into the wild again. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and hope you have a great rest of the stream. I'll be hanging out in chat. Anyone can follow me on any media. I'm also Samiver on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. So if you want to talk to me, feel free to DM me or anything. I answer every single message. So yeah, if you want to talk, I'm there. Or questions or whatever.
Awesome. All right. See you later, Sam. Great interview.
Yeah, great. You were a great interviewer. Interviewee? Or is that? Interviewer, yeah. Thank you so much. It was a great time. And I'm glad to have been here with my cute cat.
Your cute, horrifying cat slime.
No, it's only cute. It's not horrifying.
It's got fangs and...
Yeah, because it's Halloween.
Eyes.
Well, it's cute, I think. Can you start a poll?
Yes,
or not?
We're gonna do a poll and we're gonna find out if is the slime cat cute.
Can I vote in it?
You'd be cheating.
Well, it's my opinion.
Cute or scary?
Well, I mean, I look scary compared to you. Like, I'm in a cute cafe, and here I am, a big blob. I wasn't expecting it to look like this. I didn't think I'd be in the cafe. I wasn't prepared.
When you saw yourself, you were like, oh god.
Well, I was happy with it, at least.
All
So So you too can make a creepy, cute cat in 2 hours if you practice 3D.
Okay, I started a poll.
I can't vote, says Couch Ramen. Okay, I won't vote. But please vote that it's cute.
I started a poll. It should be at the top of the stream chat. If you want to vote in it, just refresh or...
Yeah,
or just vote in it if you see it.
Be sure to click the cute button.
No,
if
click scary, click scary.
If you click scary, bad fortune is gonna come upon you. So I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh my god, you're threatening them.
No, I didn't threaten anyone. I just it's a warning.
I think it was so scary that everyone who thinks that you're scary is too scared to vote.
Yeah, well, cute is winning, so I think it is cute.
No, I'm voting in the poll.
No, you can't vote.
I voted in the poll.
Well, if you vote, I'll vote.
No! Wait, so the one vote into cute was into you?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't me. No, it wasn't.
Who said you were cute?
I don't know, but whoever did it is very intelligent, very smart, very sexy, very powerful. You're gonna get everything you want in life. That's for sure.
Oh man, that's a lot of promises.
Yeah, but you can actually cheat. You can pay to vote again. Oh, that's another cute vote.
Was it because he said that you would be successful in life? That's a lie.
Yeah, probably.
That's a lie.
No, it's true. It's true.
If you voted cute, those things are definitely not gonna happen to you.
It is. It is. You too can make a cute cat eventually if you practice for a few years.
Gosh.
Yeah, even before I threatened.
No! Oh my god.
There we go. It won.
Why does
There we go.
think it's cute?
Because it is. It's very cute. And welcome. Time to hydrate.
Well, okay, fine. Thank you for reminding me.
Also, I'll be here until you kick me out. I still don't know how to.
Can I just kidnap you and force you to co-host the stream?
If you never kick me out, I'll be here in like 10 hours.
Are you just going to stay here until we kick you out?
Yeah, I'll just be stuck here.
Are you really stuck? Do you not know how to leave?
I don't know. I'm not in like voice channels or Discord calls that often. I have no idea. Well, if you're in a Discord call, there's like this giant red button. If you're in a voice channel, I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, it's so good.
It's cute, man. It's like a glow in the dark nightlight, right? Yeah, because I put lights inside of it in the skull, so it made like the glowy eyes.
I don't know if I should just kick you out, or if I should just, or if I should just keep you in here until we figure out a way to escape.
I'm trapped. I'm gonna have to like Google how to leave a voice channel in Discord.
Right. That's your learning mentality. If you don't know how to do something, you look up how to do it on Google.
That's true. That's true. Apply that to life, to anything, and you will learn a lot. Google, basically, or look it up on YouTube. Don't Google anything 3D, because if you get like a text description of how to do anything, you won't understand it. You need pictures.
Yeah. Pictures to show you where everything is.
Yeah. You're not gonna start drawing while I'm still here, are you? Help me! Help!
Help.
This is like a saw trap. I'm just stuck here.
Is it really
Yeah.
that? Are you being tortured right now?
Well, I don't know. You said you were gonna beat me up.
No, I won't beat you up if as long as you comply.
I'm complying. I have no choice. I'm just here. I'm just vibing as a cute cat.
Yeah, just vibing.
I'm just forced to vibe. It's not even vibey vibes. I'm just forced.
Yep.
keep saying banned words.
You were looking up how to get out of the Discord.
I wasn't.
Oh.
I'm playing. Wait, maybe I should wait. How to leave a voice channel in Discord? Wow, it even recommended Discord.
We can see in real time the learning process here.
You're not gonna see anything. You're just gonna hear me leave. You're just gonna stop hearing me all of a sudden.
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, I found it. I found the button.
Perfect.
Oh, it's pretty obvious. It's a phone with like a cross over it. Oh, I should notice that. Well, now I can leave on my own.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Kim. Finally, I can leave. My goodness, I've been wanting to leave for the last hour. Right when the interview started, and I was just thinking, wow, how do I leave? Yeah, I was just thinking, how do I leave? I don't want to be here. But now I finally can. Thank you for having me. Thank you, people who listened. I hope I didn't sound too overwhelming or annoying having to listen to all of that. Hope it was understandable. Hope people could take something away from it. And I hope someone feels inspired to do 3D after this. I hope. And if you do, please send me your work. I'd love to see it. And I'll love to give any advice you'd want. But now I'm gonna go and lurk in chat. And hope you have a good rest of the stream, Kim.
Yeah. See you.
See you.
Awesome. Now that he's finally gone, we can start the real stream.